Did you know that sex addiction and narcissism are closely related to each other? By the end of this video, you're gonna know why sex addiction is so prevalent with narcissists. Hi, I'm Rebecca Zung, top 1% attorney and the best-selling author of the books, Negotiate Like You Matter, and Breaking Free, a step-by-step divorce guide. And I've helped thousands of people go from lives of drama, trauma, and chaos to step into lives of freedom, possibility, and purpose. And I do the same thing for you right here in these videos. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, now is a perfect time to do that. Just go right now, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell, and that way you will be notified every time I upload new content. So if you've watched parts 1 and 2 in this series, then you know that narcissists use sex as a way of controlling and gaslighting their partners. And if you haven't watched part 1 and 2 of this series, now is a good time to go back and make sure that you do that. But one of the things that you should know, if you haven't watched it, is that narcissists need an endless amount of what we call narcissistic supply. And supply is anything that feeds their ego. Narcissists have no internal sense of value whatsoever. They're like the hollow chocolate Easter bunnies. You know, they look good on the outside, but there's nothing going on inside. So what they need is an endless amount. It's like this black hole that can never be filled, of trying to suck as much out of the people that are around them to try to make themselves feel better. It's an endless quest of trying to feel better, trying to feel better, trying to feel better, and they never can, because there was something that was broken deep inside of them long ago when they were children. Some kind of traumatic event or something took place that broke inside of them where they said, hey, I'm broken. There's something wrong with me. I am scared. I am vulnerable. And the only way that I'm going to be able to cover up that there's something seriously wrong with me is by an endless amount of narcissistic supply. So supply is anything that feeds their ego. It could be money, it could be compliments, it could be prestige, but it also has a darker side. The darker side of supply is control, and doing anything they can to feel a sense of control over another person, or a sense of making the other person feel less than they are, or that, more importantly, that they are better, that they are higher, that they're perfect in some way. And so this endless cycle goes on with narcissists in every aspect of their lives. So why would their sex life be any different? Well, it's not. It's not. It's actually a perfect little chasm, a perfect little place that is a smaller area of what goes on with everything else. But with narcissists and sex, it's a perfect place for them to exert control over the other person, because the person is vulnerable to them. Because when you're with your romantic partner, you want to appear, you know, desirable. You want to be attractive. And, you know, so you're being vulnerable. You're exposing yourself to this person. And that is a perfect place for a narcissist to zone in and hurt you and use that as a way of controlling you and gaslighting you and psychologically abusing you. When narcissists are dealing with sex, one of the things that you'll often see is they become sex addicts, because it's a way for them to try to feed that beast. And so if people are saying that they're so attractive, or that they are, or they want them in some way, then they want more and more and more and more of that. So they end up having many different conquests to show that, look how attractive I am. I actually did a deposition of a wife's boyfriend one time. I was representing the husband. And right in the middle of the deposition, the boyfriend says to me, ask me how many women I've been with. And I'm thinking, I don't really care how many women you've been with. I'm trying to find out if you're paying for stuff for the wife, you know? And he says, he was a Spanish guy, and he's like, ask me how many women I've been with. Go ahead, ask me. And I'm like, I don't care. So I wouldn't ask him. And he says, a lot of women, a lot of women. Like, because I wouldn't ask him, he just decided to volunteer the information. And, you know, here is a perfect example of a person who was using the fact that he had been with a lot of women to beef up his ego, to make him feel more important, make him feel like he's more attractive to everybody. And so when you're dealing with narcissists, you see that where they have multiple conquests and become addicted to sex in that way. Another way that they do it, which is kind of like the opposite of that, is they actually have no sex with anybody at all because they're addicted to porn or masturbating on their own because they don't want to be controlled by another person, because they can't have intimacy with another person. They don't want to have vulnerability with another person. So that's another thing that you'll see with narcissists sometimes as well. A lot of times what you see with narcissists is that they will start having other kinds of conquests too, such as with prostitutes and things like that. I mean, sometimes they have a perfectly loving spouse at home, but yet you see them off with prostitutes because that's a way of them feeling more attractive, of feeling dangerous, of taking risks, of being with someone who's going to be willing to do the kinds of things that they weren't, the spouse maybe isn't willing to do. Because you do see that with narcissists sometimes where, you know, they expect more and more and more from a spouse, and if they don't do it, then they tell the spouse, well, I'm just gonna go find it somewhere else then. And, you know, it's a way of controlling the spouse by saying, hey, if you're not willing to do S&M with me, or you're not willing to do a threesome, or you're not willing to engage in these crazy positions, or, you know, I've seen situations in divorces where the husband was forcing the wife to have sex with another man while he watched. And he set up video cameras in their bedroom, so he wasn't there when it happened, but he wanted her to go out, find someone, have sex with this person in their bedroom with the cameras on so that he could watch. And she didn't want to have to do that anymore. That is a perfect example of somebody who is being psychologically abused by their spouse. And if you think that this is just not okay, give me a not okay in the comments. So just remember that sex and narcissism are symbiotically intertwined with each other. Very often, narcissists use sex as a way of gaslighting their partners, psychologically abusing their partners, exerting control over their partners, and making their partners miserable and causing drama, trauma, and chaos for their partners. And if you are seeing this and you are just so ready to get the hell out of this relationship, make sure you check out my videos on Do This to Move On from a Narcissist, parts 1 and 2, and I will drop links to both of those below. And if you're getting ready to negotiate with a narcissist, make sure you grab my free Crush My Negotiation prep worksheet. It's 15 pages. It's basically an ebook. It's totally free. You can either grab it from the link below or just go to winmynegotiation.com and get yours. And if you want to connect with other people who are dealing with narcissists, please join my free private Facebook group. It's called Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung, and I'll drop a link to that below so you can just click on it and join. And if you like this video, give it a like, give it a share, drop me a comment, let me know that you were here, and make sure that you've subscribed to my channel, you've hit that notification bell, so that you will be notified when I upload new content every single time. And if you haven't watched parts 1 and 2 of this series on narcissism and sex, now's a good time to go and check those out too. I'm Rebecca Zung. I'm so glad that you stopped by. Remember that today's a great day to start negotiating your best life, and I'll see you in the next video.